If you've gone down the empath rabbit hole, you've probably heard words like depleting, exhausting, frustrating, damaging, too sensitive. You've been told, bubble up, have bright light, put it all around you, stay away from large crowds, and most importantly, do not forget
your crystals.
In this video, I'm going to define what being an empath is. I'm going to give you 5 key signs that you are an empath. I'm going to give you 3 hacks for turning your empathic I'm going to give you 3 hacks for making sure that you turn being an empath into a superpower, because that's exactly what it is. Being an empath is defined as being sensitive or having sensitivities to other people's thoughts and energies. When you aren't sure that you are an empath, you haven't quite figured it out, or after you've learned you're an empath but you don't know what to do with it, this can be really unsettling and leave you with a little bit of an altered your reality. You don't always recognize that when you're with someone and you hear their thoughts, it's theirs. You wonder, why am I thinking that? What's making me feel that way? Why am I all of a sudden feeling like shit? And that person's feeling much better after our 20-minute conversation. It's because you're picking up their energies and you're sensitive to their vibrations they're putting out, and you're also sensitive to their thoughts. You're telepathically picking up what they're thinking. So as I go through and I say these things and I explain what it's like to be an empath, it sounds a little unsettling, it sounds a little damaging, it sounds a little frustrating, depleting. I get exactly how being an empath may feel like all of those things in some moments. But what isn't talked about, what isn't focused on, is the positive things that come from being an empath. Because I'm here to tell you, being an empath is a major superpower. If you are in any public service, like teaching, police, firefighter, therapy, anything where you are dealing with another person, another group, and you are able to intuit and feel what they're feeling, hear their thoughts in times, you are able to process that person's needs and then clear it from your system. And that just gave you insight to everything you need to help the person or the group that is in front of you. That's never talked about. What is usually talked about is the hell of being an empath and how you're going to be exhausted and you need all of these protective mechanisms to get through the day. If you learn how to hone this ability, it is life-changing in a very positive way. 5 key signs that you are an empath. 1, you are emotionally drained by crowds. If you're in large groups or crowds, you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or depleted. 2, you take your own car because you want to make sure there's an exit. There's an exit point if you need it. You want to know that if you feel overwhelmed or anxious, you have a way out. 3, you overeat or overdrink or overindulge to make yourself feel better because you don't understand what you're feeling and you don't know why you're feeling the way that you feel. 4, your intuition is spot on. You know things, you don't know how, you don't know why, but you know. If someone's standing in front of you and they're saying a lie or they're saying something different than what they're actually feeling, you know it. You can pick it up, you sense it. You are a huge intuitive radar. 5, you take on other people's emotions. If you talk to a friend, you end up feeling how she feels. If you have a student that comes to you crying and they're emotional about something that's happened in their home life or something that happened to them at school, You feel it. You feel that student's emotion. You feel their pain, their sadness. And you have a hard time separating if you feel this way versus them feeling this way. It all starts blending in as your feelings. So you end up walking away thinking, I feel this way. So it sounds pretty heavy. It sounds like a lot. You have to process, know, separate theirs from yours. It gets crazy really fast. But let me tell you, there are methods and tricks to know and process on the spot that you're feeling someone else's thoughts and feelings, and you can separate theirs from yours just like that. In order to be able to differentiate between theirs and yours, the number one thing that you need to do is make sure you have a healthy energy system. You need to make sure that you are taking your energetic anatomy and clearing it. Key ways of doing this are yoga. When you do yoga, you move your energy body around and you clean out your chakra system without even being aware of it. It cleans your body and it also cleans your energetic body. If you are not interested in yoga and you feel like that's not something that you want to do, then make sure you're exercising. It can be walking, it can be lifting weights, anything that's going to move your energetic anatomy along with your physical body. When you do that, you ground out excess energy, and that definitely clears energy from people, things, scenarios that you've collected. It will clear it right out. So you want to make sure that you are clearing your energetic anatomy, your body, with some movement, some form of exercise. Again, my favorite is yoga or walking because you're moving your chakra system. And what people don't realize is imbalances in our chakra systems are what causes the lapse in boundary, the lapse in energy with other people in the first place. So if you're clearing it, you're strengthening that energetic anatomy and creating those stronger boundaries. So I'm trying to tell you to work with your chakras and keep them clean and clear to enhance your boundaries. I'm trying to say it in not such a woo-woo way. So it breaks down to some form of exercise is going to clear your anatomy. Another way to clean your energetic anatomy is to do some kind of energy healing. Whatever modality you're most drawn to, get it done. A lot of people go to Reiki. That's what they know. It's mainstream. If you have a good Reiki practitioner, score. You can get some work done and it starts balancing out your system and cleans things up. Any energetic modality that you are drawn to, it will work. You just need to stay on top of it. Massage is another great way to clean up your energetic anatomy. When you go in and have someone physically work on your physical body, you have someone work on your physical body, you're also releasing things on an energetic level. So having massage goes along with energy work. It is a great way to clean up your system and keep you grounded as an empath. 2, before you go and try to isolate yourself because you feel like hell, you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or exhausted, sit in this scenario and start asking yourself, this is the problem. We go into autopilot and we want to run, bolt, get out of the uncomfortability. But what about asking yourself, simple as, is this mine or is this theirs? This thought doesn't feel familiar to me. Is this their thought and I'm picking it up? I wasn't having this emotion 5 minutes ago. Am I picking up their emotion? Sit and ask and make yourself aware. That is going to save a ton of energy and reactivity. You're instantly going to calm down. Your anxiety is going to lessen, if not completely subside, because you're going to separate and differentiate. Part of the problem with being an empath is we are told and taught that you have no control over what you're feeling. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. You have 100% control. Stop giving your power away. You are strong. You have complete control. You have complete control. So separate. If you separate and you still feel bad, because let's just be real, not everyone that we're around is going to make us feel like peaches. So if you still feel bad, then take yourself out of the equation, knowing that you used your power, your intuition, and you just need a break in energy. Number 3, you need to make sure that you have strong mental and emotional health. Things such as journaling, meditating, taking salt baths, making sure you do things to keep your mind clear. When you have a clear mind, when you know who you are, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, it is so much easier to process when something's not yours. I really hate to go here, but the truth of it is codependency and lack of boundaries, which if you haven't watched those videos, they will be linked above. So go ahead and check those out because they definitely help with being an empath. Those tie in to being an empath in some degree, because when you're an empath, your boundaries are less, they're weakened because you have not built up your different energetic systems, your mental system, your physical system. And so when you journal, you meditate, you take a salt bath, you are doing things for self-care. You're being aware of who you are, what you're thinking, all of the things that I'm repeating and trying to say. So make sure that you take time to meditate, to journal. And you would think salt bath might go into number 1, but it doesn't, because when you're taking a salt bath, 2 birds with 1 stone, you're definitely clearing and cleaning your energetic anatomy, but you're also sitting and recognizing and processing emotions leaving your body if you're taking a bath and having downtime to process. And that's what I'm alluding to. Don't just take a bath and have your mind frazzled and all over. When you take a salt bath, make it a personal time. Light some candles. Do a mind dump in the tub where you're clearing emotions and really processing and releasing things that have pent up throughout the day. That will help mental and emotional clarity and establish strong sense of self like no other process. So definitely do mental and emotional exercises. Hopefully you found value in what I've shared with you today and you feel much more secure and hopeful about being an empath. If for some reason you still have questions, you want more information, feel free to go to my website. It's linked below, and there is a free PDF on energetic hygiene and also a PDF on being an empath that you can go over and look at to see if you've missed anything. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications, like the video, and subscribe. See you next week.